Show. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas. We're live at 9. Welcome to ATI Pro Media, powered by Advanced Trading. Unscripted live broadcasts. Hopefully, have an interactive show. We love the interaction. Leave us a comment if you're watching the recording, if you're here right now. Let us know what your favorite Christmas tradition is, your Christmas Eve tradition. Merry Christmas to all. Let us know you're here if you're here. Well, it's a good thing American Airlines isn't running air traffic for Santa. Woke up to a headline this morning, and American Airlines shut down flights here this morning. But
I saw that. I'm glad. It makes me glad that I travel right around 10 miles for Christmas, not anything farther. So,
gosh, what the biggest travel day of the year here, and we got that headline. I think it's resolved now, but this is what I've heard. But
oh man, well, good.
Merry Christmas, Connor.
Hey,
nice sweater there.
You mentioned some ugly sweaters, or someone did. I'm like, you know what? I've got one. It hasn't had a lot of use these past few years, but it's been with me for a long time. It got me through college, so I figured I'd break it out for the show. I love the K-State Santa hat too.
Oh yeah, you got to rock it. Yeah, my boy wears it. I just steal it from my boy, but yeah, love it.
Good stuff. Well, we kind of got. I mean, I'm looking at corn market right now, and it looks like it knows it's Christmas Eve, but we might as well quote up the markets, right?
Yep. Let's go run through your markets. March corn's up 1/4 cent, 4.48 on March corn. Jan beans up 4 1/4, 9.73 3/4. We got wheat lower. That's the dog here out of the gate this morning. Chicago wheat down 4 3/4 at 5.35. KC wheat down 5.5 at 5.45. Feeder cattle a little firmer. Got a little bit on the feeders, a little bit on the fat cattle. Hogs weaker out of the gate after the quarterly hog and pig report here, but bouncing back a little bit maybe on the hog front. When we look over your energy markets, crude's up 80 points, diesel up a penny, nat gas, wow, up 16 cents on your nat gas contracts. Markets are moving. NASDAQ's up 162, the S&P up 26 points, and the Dow up 38. Bitcoin bouncing back too, Connor B, up 4,400 points overnight, 97,000. That's a snapshot of your markets here this morning. Let's dive into some of the headlines here out of the gate.
Let's do it.
Okay. First headline I got here is ATI Research. We pump out, ATI Research pumps out it's my favorite part of their morning comment newsletter is the what's caught my eye section. Mm-hmm. And today it was, will DS1 corn stocks be lower than a year ago? And they wrote in that morning wire, we're still 2 weeks away from the DS1 corn stocks number in that Jan crop report. But looking at, higher food seed and industrial usage, higher corn stock usage. Another tidbit they threw out there was grain consuming animal units were, up, corn's cheaper. And we're seeing good DDG exports out the gate. So some supportive things on the feed grain front, Connor B, according to ATI Research.
You love to see it. And if you could go back 6 months ago, dead middle of summer, and tell me, Connor, we'd be talking about how low can DS1 corn stocks be, and can they be lower a year ago? I would have laughed you off the show, right? We were in the middle of this. How big can this crop get, right? We at that time we just crested. USDA told us we were going to be closer to what did we top out at 183, final yield. And now, it's just a testament to the demand story that we've seen. The past I'm going to call it the past 3 months in the corn market, that we're talking lower carryout, lower corn stock. So it truly amazes me every time I see headlines like that.
Yep. Hopefully we got a lot of the bad news priced into in 24, and we can turn over that calendar and have maybe some sort of supportive story to give the bulls a little fire and present some good opportunities there. But,
I hope we can say good riddance 24, and it's going to be all roses in 25. But I'd be lying to say if I wasn't nervous, because on the forefront of my mind is we see this good corn demand, but then I see this corn soy ratio. I wrote an article yesterday talking about it, and just, gosh, can we see those big, big corn acres? We're a ways away from that, right? We'll get that first look at acreage intentions the end of March, but that's on the forefront of my mind, Brady, is if we keep a ratio like this, or, what if we see soybeans get weaker? What is corn acres going to do? How many corn acres can we plant?
Yep. Good points. Yeah, if 24 didn't turn out like you wanted it to from a marketing perspective, we can hope for better in 25. But just use some of those mistakes you learned in 24, and address those problem areas. What helps you execute, what helps you be proactive with your marketing. That's, I think, a good takeaway here. It's great to be bullish and optimistic, but don't get caught flat-footed or blindsided by doing your job good and making a lot of bushels. You guys are good at your jobs. Don't underestimate your ability to deliver bushels at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Next headline here: Russia trimmed wheat export forecast yesterday. Some optimism there on Black Sea wheat. The shrinking Russian crop. Sovicon trimmed their export forecast for this year, and they've got a much smaller export forecast for next year's wheat crop. This is going to be a story that drifts into the spring. How aggressive is Russia with their wheat exports? Will Ukraine pick up the business? Will Argentina, Australia pick up some of that business? And, will it result in any increased business from, the U.S.? But Brian Basting did a wheat premium last week and really talked about this and highlighted it. But big story out there is, does Russia have the crop? Will they keep owning the export market? And if they give up some of that footing, that's supportive for this wheat market here. So another little optimistic story Connor had to throw in there.
I like it. Hey, it's the season of giving. So I want you, right, when I look at this wheat market, that's the forefront of my mind as I see this potential lower Russian wheat crop. Give me another reason to be bullish wheat, Brady. I'm putting you on the spot, but fuel the wheat bulls, but you can't mention Russia. What's else do we have going in this wheat market?
Well, I think, we went from, in October, Reuters printed a story, and all the media groups printed a story of, we had the second worst wheat ratings going back like 40 years. And then we got some beneficial November rainfall, and we flipped completely. And now we've got great wheat ratings, crop conditions ratings, but a crop isn't made in December and January, Connor B. If we have some sort of drought or less precip on the U.S. front in April, May, June timeframe, that's when those wheat bushels are made. And that is the caveat I throw out there on this wheat market. And some upside potential. There's always a potential for a freeze scare. And will we have some concerns about production in April, May, Connor B?
I like it. Good stuff.
Did I handle the pop quiz okay?
That was you did perfect. Way better than I could have done.
Good stuff here. Okay. This is one we've talked about it off the show, and I wanted to bring it up on the show. But Wall Street Journal had an article out this morning. Insurance and taxes now cost more than mortgages for many homeowners. As home values increasing, the property tax going up, and this insurance piece. Gosh, insurance over the last few years has just increased 20-30%, in some cases even double. But there's 5 metro areas, Connor, where at least a quarter, 25% of borrowers are spending more than half of their monthly mortgage payment goes to insurance and property tax going into that escrow account. Wild to me. Wild.
Unbelievable.
That inflation, to me, this is that other piece of inflation that's just catching up to the American consumer. And maybe, we're not done with that. Maybe we've got some parts of the inflation under control, but not everything under control.
Yeah.
But interesting piece in the Wall Street Journal wanted to highlight. So,
yeah,
good
amazing
stuff.
So,
I want to talk a little about premium yesterday. Did Tony Dunker talk to Quarterly Hog and Pigs report? And, at face value, that report was bullish. Pork supply in the spring potentially 2.5% higher than a year ago, if you believe the numbers. But the trade is definitely digesting that stuff this morning. Going forward, the rest of the week, we'll have some of our favorite premiums from the past few years over the next few days. Trust me, they're going to be worth a rewatch. If you're interested in Pro Media premium content, head on over to atipromedia.com, advancedtrading.com. You can subscribe, become a premium subscriber. We're pumping out great content, great value, $1 a day, and you get the weekly morning newsletter. You get text alerts. You're getting videos, great content. I think that premium stuff's worth it. So if you need a last minute Christmas gift for a loved one, Connor B, ATI Pro Media Premium.
Subscribe. I like it. Also, reminder is that markets will close slightly early, 12:05. Is that right, Brady? Or noon close, 12:05 today. Close for Christmas. No night trade. Hard open Thursday, and then we'll get into next week, right? The first New Year's Day is on a Wednesday as well, right? Two middle of the week holidays. So interesting to see. We will be taking we reserve the right if something crazy, if we get some crazy news the 26th, we'll be going live, right? But odds are we're probably going to take that time, spend it with family the day after Christmas. So you might not see us 26th, but we will be back in full force come Friday and then into next week as well.
Yep. We'll be back Friday for sure. But who knows? That hard open on Thursday morning, you never know what you'll see on that day.
You don't. Absolutely. I mean, right now, it doesn't feel like this corn market's going to move more than a half cent, quarter cent, right? We're looking at a penny and a half range so far. So who knows? But we've got 25 will be here before we know it. That Jan 10th final acreage, that report will be here before we know it. That's an important. When I name important USDA reports, is that number one, Brady? I got that one. To me, it's the January final acreage, March acreage intentions, that July WASD, just because a lot's going on. What are they going to do with yield type of thing? Am I missing one? Maybe like October WASD is an important one too.
Yeah. There's I don't know. The USDA has the ability to come in and throw a curveball at any moment in time and move this market. And but there's a number of key reports that are big ones and bigger than most of your usual reports. And that January one, like you said, kind of the Super Bowl. You get the destocks data, you get the final crop yield, that type of stuff. It's a big report.
Yeah.
So Connor, you're going on AgriTalk with Chip Floyd today. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. So be doing that this afternoon. I've been on it once. I enjoyed myself, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. Anyone's got any topics into my way, right? I'm thinking we're gonna have to talk a little corn exports, look into peek into 25, right? Throw some predictions out there and go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I'm sure you do great. That's what a great privilege it is to get on the Agri Talk with Chip Flory there. Absolutely. One thing you could talk about, Connor, is this tweet here. That caught my idea. The Grinches of U.S. branches of government here. So the in the executive branch, the Department of Treasury provided no guidance on 45Z here this year. Legislation branch, the House of Reps, we had a shot at E15 year round. No go. And then on the judicial side of things, these small refinery exemptions just continue to leak through. And
just a stark contrast to where we were this time last year. Last year, it was, it wasn't if it was coming, it was when and how much. Now it just feels like, it's just they drug their feet, right? We were going to get the rhetoric. When was that, Brady? Was that in March or April, or I can't remember. This spring, we were going to get something. We got something, but it was the definition of kicking the can down the road. And now, then we heard that they were going to, Biden administration was going to issue some type of guidance on their way out. That didn't come. It's not going to come. And now we're going to have a new administration, and we'll see what they say, right? I'm not sure one way or the other, but yeah, not at all what I expected for 2024 in terms of renewable fuels, biodiesel, and not really what the U.S. farmer needed either. But time will tell.
Well, it's good to have some export demand to back us up there, but increasing that domestic demand side front, U.S. domestic demand would be huge for bean oil and corn usage, ethanol, all the above. I want to talk before we jump into some comments. One, keep throwing them out there if you've got them out there. We want to answer your questions. But Jan options expire this Friday, Connor B. And I always love looking at the option open interest where those strikes are. On corn, this is looking at March corn. Got a lot of calls. I need to pull that banner off there, maybe.
Yep.
A lot of calls at open interest at that 450 strike on March corn, and March corn's trading at 447.5. I've also got that 200-day moving average right at that similar level there. So 450 kind of looks a little sticky to me, Connor B. On the bean front, here we go. Got some the yellow bars are puts and put open interest at various strikes. We've got a number of puts at that 980, and then
is this Jan or March, Brady?
This is Jan beans. Yep. Jan beans, Jan options coming off here this Friday. But yeah, 980 number puts there. Could be kind of gravity there, I guess, to get on that Jan beans. But the market tends to want to have those most options expire, worthless, or those 980 puts would be in the money if we're below that. So to me, I don't know. Be optimistic to see that. Can we climb to 980 by Friday? I'd love to see it.
Yeah, time will tell. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's jump into some of those comments, Connor B.
What we got? Tony Dunker. I like the discussion on 25 corn versus bean acres. Talking with customers about it this AM. I like talking about it too, Tony, because what I was looking at is, can we draw a correlation of previous years, right? Past performance isn't indicative of future results, but I wanted to look at, given where the corn soy ratio is right now, can we look at previous years and then kind of infer, does it have any meaning? Like, can we see more corn acres? And the truth is that we're kind of, for this time of year, it's a pretty low ratio, right? We're kind of in uncharted territory. I think I went back 10 years looking at that. But, 1 year that was kind of similar was 2023, right? It wasn't as extreme, but the ratio was favoring corn for the first 3-4 months of the year. And then if you remember that, was it the June WASD, or maybe it was even July, where we flip-flopped the acres, right? It was going to be something like 90 million corn acres, 89, it was kind of like that. 94, they shocked us with 94 million acres of corn, completely flipped the balance sheet, right? Bean acres were much lower. And so that doesn't bode when I see things like that, yes, when the ratio tells us that it favors corn acres, that we then do go plant more corn, right? Well, okay, not quite the correlation I was going to try and look for, but always interesting to look back on.
Sometimes when you get to harvest, it's a different ratio, and when the market zigs, do you zag at that time frame? I talked to some farmers, and I remember they kind of have that contrarian mindset of, if everybody else is planting corn, I'm going to go plant beans, and I'm going to be in this great position.
The old Kansas City shuffle, right? If everyone's going left, make sure you're going right. But yeah, interesting to see, right? We'll see if that ratio does it come more in line, right? Because there's two ways we can do that. We can see soybean futures rally, or, right, the one we don't want to talk about is we can see this corn market weaken down to the level and kind of get, stoop to this soybean market's level.
Stoop to the soybean lows. I like how you said that there. I don't like how you said that, but it's a good way to say it.
I got what you mean. I know.
Speaking of Kansas City Shuffle, Connor B, I gotta ask: are you watching the Netflix is doing football tomorrow? Netflix, the old place where you mailed the DVDs back and forth and all that. Now they're streaming 2 football games tomorrow. You can watch 7 hours of football tomorrow. Are you going to be watching on Netflix?
I'm sure it will be on. Do you know? I don't even know who's playing on Christmas.
Is it the Casey's? I think playing the Steelers, and the Ravens are playing Houston Texans. But I think there's going to be a lot of millennials helping their parents log into Netflix and figure out how to watch the games and the passwords, download the app. A lot of troubleshooting on holidays, which will make for great family fun.
Good stuff. Well, as a Bears fan, when we get to this time of year, the only thing I have to worry about really is my fantasy football team, right? I'm in the championship. Let's see if I can't pull through. But yeah, so interesting. Football on Netflix. Where will we go for 2025?
Who knows? I think we watched the Tyson fight on Netflix. Some people got to watch the Tyson fight. Not everybody got to watch the Tyson fight, but some did. We'll they watched the buffering, the scrolling, and all that. We'll see if they actually get to see some football tomorrow. But I don't know. Anything else we need to cover here?
No, I just wanted to say, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a ride. We've been at this just over a year. So Merry Christmas to everyone's family. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holidays, right? Merry Christmas. Definitely to 2 guys down below, Rick and Joe. Thanks for all your help. Brady, Merry Christmas to your family. Hope you have a good one.
Same to you. Thank you all. We'll be back. Jump on over. Get those premium videos if you want. There's going to be some good ones coming out today. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Got one little message to play, and then we'll close it up, Connor B.
Sounds good.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.